ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Actually, yesterday I could not record, so if devotees they really want, then I can mm, take that section yesterday which we discussed one more time. Only if it is needed, devotees feel. Otherwise, if somebody is interested, you can. If more than 10 devotees are raising hand, then I will take. So please raise your hands. If more than 10, we'll definitely take it. So we have only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only 8 votes we got. 12. Okay. I'm repeating. I got sufficient confirmation. Just give me little time. I'll share the screen. Okay. So we were discussing this topic, how offenses are coming. So the understanding is very straight that our heart, it is in spite of the so many promises that are given, the text promises so many, we hear that holy name can bestow the highest prema, but unfortunately we don't see that transformation happening. The reality is, despite of many years of chanting, consciousness remains unchanged. So there is no freedom from material desires, no no freedom from material desires, and mm, we see that karmic reactions are not going away. So many things are still coming, and there is blocked spiritual emotions and revival of previous bad habits. So all these things are there. If these symptoms are present, we must look beyond mechanical practice. The root cause is a systematic blockade. So now what is that is blocking us from getting the mercy of the holy name? So we discussed that the bhakti means aradhana. Aradhana means to serve with love. And that's the why the name Radha comes from the root word aradhana. So this word aradhana is from the word radha, which is to flow, and apagata radha, which stops the flow of aradhana, radha. That means we have a genuine desire, the soul has a desire to serve and love, which is blocking it. That means exactly opposite. So aparad is exactly opposite to aradhana. Like I want to please a person Krishna, and now I am exactly doing, I am displeasing him. That is what is aparad. So the caste of aparad is displeasing the Lord and becoming detached from the holy name, remaining ignorant of his nature. So this is aparad. Whereas operating with love is pleasing the Lord, becoming attached to the holy name, understanding his nature. This is why aparads are dangerous. Whereas sinful activity is not aparad. Sinful activities, wrong tendencies. Aparad is doing exactly opposite. That's why we get more. It is more dangerous aparad than even sin also. Sin is we are not trying to displease Krishna. Means we are not dealing with Krishna there. Here it is aparad comes when we are directly dealing with things related to Krishna. Aparad comes. Why Ajamila is sinful, but he is not doing offenses because he did not deal with Krishna and devotees. That's why he got saved. So when we coming with Krishna and devotees only, or holy name, holy dham, deities, then only aparad comes. Because we when we go them, we have to look them with a material, spiritual vision. We have to look them entirely differently and be respectful and deal with them accordingly. So the reactivity of consciousness. So expanded consciousness and contracted consciousness. So expanded consciousness, we level of generosity, bliss, kindness, and forgiveness. This will come automatically when our consciousness is expanding. When consciousness is contracting, it hurts, there is defensiveness, we hurt others, there is withdrawal and unhappiness. So here about the consciousness, same thing with the holy name also we discussed. Holy name is a person, and here important thing to understand is that when we are dealing with Krishna as a person and holy name as a person, holy name is very merciful, but for a specific perspective that we do not need to chant with perfect meter and pronunciation, but when it comes to his reaction, that is very heavy. He is very sensitive. He does not uh, he does not respond very fast. What happens is this is the phenomena is a reflection of Lord's own experience. Like originally, Lord is very kind and generous. He want to give us everything we need to become happy. But when he perceives our negative energy or aggression towards him in the form of offenses, he contracts his power within himself. So that is why we do not experience the immense power of holy name despite years of chanting. So these powers have been withdrawn by the Lord. That is the point. We should the aggressiveness towards him, a negative energy should not be pursued by Lord. So the power here is the emotional state of love, but thankfully Lord does not give up on us. And but neither does he bestows his mercy easily also. If we continue to chant in a determined manner with deep repentance, the Lord may eventually show mercy. So that is the point. Anyway, so this is the more very important aspect. See, we are at the stage of anartha nivritti. Now, anartha nivritti has four stages, four types. One is tattva vibrama, asatrishna, hridaya daurbalya, and aparada. These are by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He explains this. That anartha nivritti at four stages. But anartha nivritti at tattva vibrama is misunderstanding of spiritual truth. That means sambandha jnana is lacking. That is the reason. And it is little easier to overcome, not so easy, because if we know who we are, our actions will be very clear. Why our actions are not clear is because Why we do bewildered and why we are getting confused is because of this sambandha jnana only. Otherwise, whole day we will be sitting, reading, chanting. Why we are not doing is because of Tattva Brahma. We are not getting that understanding clearly. So that's why we have to hear, hear, hear. Then one fine day it will come, Eureka. Yes. This is what I have to do. Then called Asat Trishna, these are material desires. And that is very easy to understand. And then Hridaya Daurbalya is after knowing some things are wrong, still we do it. That is Hridaya Daurbalya. But the most dangerous thing is the false ego, the aparadha part. So aparadha is at the level of false ego. Here, the problem is of identity only. So because we identify certain thing, we want to protect that identity. That's why we create aparadhas. That is the root. To uproot the blockade, we cannot merely pune the mind or intelligence. We must target the core, the false ego. So then we discuss that now comes everything is because of this false ego only. Please understand this point where the offenses, why offenses are most dangerous, aparadhas are most dangerous, because it is coming from the root. The whole structure itself is a problem. We have to change our structure. Otherwise, we continue to do aparadhas, the false ego. So here, why offensive nature is not only malicious intent, it is an automatic survival mechanism of false ego. So I want to protect my false ego. To protect my false ego, the best defense is to offend. Offense is the best defense. So inevitably there will be exploiting or stepping on others' properties, rights, or to survive. And the defensive mindset clarifies into a offensive nature. So this is how the system works. Now, material, the that means what? We have this material identity. Bringing their subconscious mechanism into a conscious awareness weakens the sanskara, the force of defensive behavior. So we want to reduce that, then we have to come to this stage, conscious awareness. Anyway, so now we discuss what are the upper anarthas. In that, the aparadha is the most dangerous because it is coming from the ego level. Why ego level? Because at the ego, we want to protect our ego. To protect our ego, what we do? We are trying to defend it. And that further we do offense. Now, here the 10 offenses are also from the 10th offense is what? Aham mamadi paramo. That means to maintain material attachments. That means the identification is the root for all other offenses. So then there is envy, fault finding. If you see the first offense is like fault finding, blaspheming the devotee, satam ninda. So that is why it is the root. And the the structure itself is a problem. The structure, the down base itself is a problem for us. The 10 offenses are not 10 separate rules. They are a single offensive mindset. The mindset is a problem. Evolving from a concealed internal root into a highly visible external weapon. You are seeing you are understanding this point. So we need to understand this very clearly that I am getting affected because of my uh, bodily conception of knife. That's why I'm doing this mistake. So this is at one level. So the root is what, as long as this is there, it will work, it will happen. And then the gravest offense is material designations past. So this is offend the first offense basically. And we will come to that first offense again. But here another thing is ashraddha, lack of faith. So then all you see, all the offenses are connected to this only. So committing sins on the strength of the holy name, equating the holy name to ordinary pious activities, considering the name material, blaspheming Vedic scriptures, interpreting glories as mundane. You see, all the things are where lack of faith, ashraddha, and devaluating the agent. Now, why this ashraddha is the main reason is when we look spiritual thing as material. So all the manifestations, one is at the level of ego and another is here the two things are given. One is about false ego. Now another is Ashraddha. Ashraddha for what? All these manifestations stream from treating the transcendence as mundane and inability to look beyond our own mental material paradigm. So that's what I am telling. When you do sin is different and aparad is different. The same thing when we are dealing with Krishna and other related things, it becomes aparad. You are understanding. So there is aparad when we are dealing with Krishna related things. Because we should not take them as mundane. We should not see from the material paradigm. This is called lack of faith. This is ashraddha. Then we become disrespectful. If you are chastising any outsiders, you get one reaction. That is sin. But if you are doing it a devotee, it's an aparad because you are dealing with things related to Krishna. Then Krishna will not, he will not forgive. Then you have to really repent and maybe Krishna may consider it. Anyway, so then we saw this another thing because of the ego. What is happening? There is even the holy name is merciful. We saw where is that slide? Okay. Holy name is merciful. Merciful in the sense, even whatever time, whatever place, whatever meter, whatever way you chant, holy name is ready to reciprocate. All mechanical execution. The holy name grants total concession to mechanical imperfections. But because of the ego, we have some other things problem. Pashandata. There is the animalistic consciousness, independent enjoyment, egocentricity. So the internal holy name is extremely sensitive to our desires to place our interest above the. If we place our desires above the interest of Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna, holy name says nothing to do with me. So for our life, the priority should be the holy name. Priority should be Bhagavatam. If somebody keeps these two as priority, then only holy name responds. Please understand this point. Bro, what about my family, children, wife, husband? They are secondary. Holy name is primary. Krishna gave you all these things to do it nicely. But he don't want that you get stuck up there. For him, more important is holy name. So only somebody gives holy name as a priority. That is the only business in my life. For them only the holy name will respond. Please understand. The holy name responds when we our desires are placed below the interest of Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna, then only the holy name will respond. Otherwise, you see, the stones are falling, but it is blocked. Whereas in the above case, even the stones are falling, they are going inside and they are getting converted into mercy. But here, the holy name is not responding. Bhagavatam and holy name is a priority. He can be Grahastha, he can be Brahmachari, anybody is there. If he gives priority, his desires are below the interest of Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishnas, the holy name is immediately responding. Why this is not happening? Because our ego is holding us. Egocentricity is holding us. So all the root you are seeing, the root comes to ego only everywhere. The root is same. So till now this is, and I want to show you. Now we will discuss about this offenses in a different way. Yeah. So we are seeing that offensive. Okay, I will just share one more presentation. Mhm. So here, if you come the offenses, we do not manufacture the holy name. We prepare the environment for his arrival. So holy name should descend. We cannot force the holy name to come. The flawed approach is trying to force ourselves to chant better. But the true path is creating the proper conditions so that the holy name can descend into our consciousness. You are seeing? So when we give the techniques, if you are sleeping, stand and chant, you read the mantra, you use this technique, that technique, put water, drink water, do some pranayam before chanting, and sleep early, wake up, this, that, and so many things are there to chant. But that is all approaches are not a complete approach. They are helpful to some extent. But the true path is creating a proper condition for the holy name. That's why I was telling, na, Burjan Prabhu's seminars, initially he gives all the techniques. But in the end, he will tell the main technique. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave technique, if you want to have Kirtaniya Sada Hari, if you want to continuously chant, what is the technique? Trinadapi Sunichena, Taroriva Sahishnuna, Amanina Amanadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. That is the technique. So we are creating an environment in our consciousness. The ultimate goal is not improved vocalization, but the cultivation of an internal environment where the holy name is satisfied to settle permanently. You are seeing a difference. Now, the 10 offenses from a single interconnected ecosystem. What is that? The first offense we are seeing, it is gross, deadly manifestation of blaspheming devotees. And the trunk and branches are from second to ninth offenses. It is systematic, like misleaded faith, philosophical deviation, and corrupt daily practices. Now, what is the root of all these things? The hidden anchor of false ego, which is more subtler. You are understanding? So the lack of faith is also coming because of ego only. Misleading faith, philosophical deviation, corrupt daily practices are also because of this root, the hidden anchor of false ego. So the 10th offense are not, 10 offenses are not separate itself. They are a continuum of one offensive mindset. To cure the fruit, we must treat the root, right? So the hanging fruit is why we are finding faults in devotees. So all the problem comes. The subterranean root of all offenses is infatuation with oneself. Aham mamadi paramo, infatuation. So identification, the absorbed in conception of I and mine, and clinging to body, mind, material positions, and social status. This is the most subtle and concealed offense, the 10th one, because it operates visibly underground. It serves as the hidden lifeblood for every other spiritual failure. You're understanding? So, spiritual failure is because of aham mamadi paramo, the bodily conception of life. Problem bodily conception of life and material vision also. Because of that, material vision comes because I want to fulfill that, and that comes to the other 10 offenses. See how, what is the connection? If I am in bodily conception of life, I look at things materially only because I have to fulfill my things. I'll explain this point. Please try to understand. If why scientists are so desperate to prove that everything is coming from matter, why they are so desperate? The reason is, please understand, if everything comes from matter, I need not obey anything superior. I just have to manipulate this matter for my enjoyment. Nobody created it, it's just on its own. Now, if it is on its own, I just have to manipulate it how to operate. Say you are finding a car on the road and there is no owner. Now you just have to figure out how to open the car and drive it and take it away because there is no owner. If there is a owner, then we don't want to mingle with it. Owner will be upset. If the matter there is no owner, I just have to satisfy my desires taking help of the matter. And that's all. It will it will work. Uh, that's I just have to manipulate this matter. So there comes this all the 2 to 9 offenses, the materialistic vision. Why materialistic vision? Materialistic vision will help me satisfy my mind and senses. If I have spiritual vision, then it is not possible. If say Guru is coming, how can we enjoy in front of Guru? If it's ordinary person, we can do whatever enjoyment we want. If altar is open, we are in temple hall or in our house, altar is open, we cannot do sense gratification. If altar is closed or we are not in temple, it's easy to enjoy, right? So this is the point. So here the 2 to 9 offenses are happening because of this root. Aham mamadi paramo. You are clear. So the system is the blasphemy is the visible explosion of a hidden ego. The root is infatuation with oneself. Then comes second one, intolerance and envy, inevitable inability to tolerate the success of others. Then finding faults, the internal narrative of critic. And the fourth one is blasphemy of devotees, the external vocalization of the critic. So you are seeing first there is intolerance, and then there is fault finding, and then we directly start saying about it. It is not just thinking in the mind. So blasphemy is not happening in a vacuum. A person infatuated with themselves cannot tolerate others, leading directly to the first and most serious offense. So offending a pure devotee causes direct pain in the to the holy name. You are seeing who is getting pain? If you beat the dog, the owner is getting more affected than the dog also. Dog may forget, owner will remember for years. This fellow did something to my dog. Dog may the pain for the dog may go after few, but the Lord is not. No, you cannot. So Satam Ninda, blaspheming the devotees means enjoying discussing the faults of others loudly. And then there is Satam, the target Satam, refers to one who has Krishnaika Sharanam, someone whose only shelter is Krishna, possessing unwavering faith in the holy name. You see, if somebody offended us and we offend them, it will not neutralize. He did to me, I did to him. No, you have to go and ask forgiveness. So, someone whose only shelter is possessing unwavering faith in the holy name. What is the consequence? The holy name maintains a deeply intimate relationship with such a devotee. Offending them is identical to offending the holy name itself, regardless of our ignorance of this relationship. So, offending them is identical to offending. So, it is going exactly to opposite what we want to achieve. And the subtle way we mistakenly judge those taking shelter is material designation, judging based on race, nationality, or social background. holding them accountable for actions committed before they became a devotee, condemning them for accidental sins committed after taking shelter, criticizing habits or personality traits that remain from a previous sinful life. So, Pashandita extreme offense. Justifying any of this criticism with philosophy is ultimate trap. So, a devotee struggle is a test of our envy. This is the point, not just their progress. Please understand, this is a nice point. A sadhu standard is based on Bhaktivinoda Thakur feels genuinely like a rascal. This fellow is means we have to feel ourselves like Amara Jivana Sada Papera Ahiko Punyera Lesha. Honest about shortcomings, never showing off. Tolerate all difficulties in practice without contempt, complaint. And the spectacular type is when another devotee goes through difficulties, it is an opportunity for their purification. So we should not envy them. For the spectator, it is a direct test. We have a choice to manifest our latent envy or to pray for them. Either we can pray for them or we can criticize them. So the philosophical branches that choke the faith in transcendence. So all these 10 offenses in brief. Second offense is materializing the name. Ordinary material sound vibration. The transcendental reality, non different from the Lord. That is the truth. Material vision is or material order. So, second offense is not just consider name of Lord Brahma, Shiva to be equal or independent of name of Lord. This is also part of second offense. Materializing the name. Ordinary material sound vibrations. Thinking like that. Third offense is disrespecting Guru, viewing them an ordinary mortal. But how should be the transparent via medium of mercy? That's how we should look at Guru. So we are committing second offense as long as we don't know we are not accepting reality not different from Lord. And blaspheming Shastra is treating Vedic scriptures as ordinary literature. No, they're the direct infallible words of Lord. Fifth is interpreting the glories. That means giving speculative mundane interpretation. No, accepting descriptions of holy name potency literally and factually. And about the sixth offense, thinking imaginary name, treating the name to be a man-made invention. No, accept it as revealed reality. And this seventh is very grave. Sinning on the strength of the holy name. That means using the name as a calculated license to commit sins, an extreme affront to the process. That's what we should see. And eighth offense is equating to pious activities, viewing chanting as equal to ordinary charity, austerities, or pilgrimage. So this is where most of the Hindus are stuck at this level. They view chanting as equal to charity, austerities, or pilgrimage. No, holy name cannot be equated to them. It's an eighth offense, recognizing it as a supremely independent. So this happens to other people of other sampradayas or pious Indians. All these things they have this great problem. And approaching the process with indifference, inattention, or dismissiveness towards instructions, a foundation of deep reverence. So this is now we are discussing the solution part now. We have to, so the only solution is humility, tolerance, and respect. These three things are the solutions for us to chant nicely. Then we will not commit offenses, we will not have material vision also, and then Kirtaniya Sada will Hari will be happening. So that's why Radhanand Maharaj every time he's stressing Trinadapi Sunichenatana. because the holy name will manifest like that only. Otherwise, it will not manifest only. So, humility must simultaneously permeate the heart, speech, and body. With the heart, feels genuine, deep morose for falling short of the standard. In the speech, express constant gratitude, actively glorify Guru, Krishna, devotees, and even non devotees to counter the urge to criticize. Physically bow down to Guru, Krishna, and Parampara and other devotees. This matrix is the embodiment of Sikshashtakam, Trinada Sunachana. It is both the means and the goal. We practice humility to attain perfect humility. So, escaping the ego required anchoring our life to sadhu. So, this also we discuss that first is we are egocentric, that is a trap. Then we should become sadhu centric, the bridge, and then Krishna centric. So, this I showed in. So in the egocentrics, the impossible, which is the impossible starting point, driven by the desire to enjoy and fame. See, here are the solution part. First solution part is developing humility. Second solution part is working on ego. So these are all solution parts only. I just briefly discussed the offense and I am coming to the solution. First is humility. Second is escaping the ego requires anchoring of our lives to sadhu. So the impossible starting point driven by the desire for enjoyment and fame, described by Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur as a dog and a prostitute dancing in the heart. Second is sadhu centric, the vital intermediate stage, placing a sadhu's desire, opinions, and feelings at the center of our life, serving humbly without dictating conditions. And then the ultimate goal achieved only because serving a sadhu pleases Bhakti Devi, who then bestows her mercy. So when we help devotees, then Krishna will be very pleased. So that should be the target for us. The proper association is the universal solvent for the offensive mindset. This is the third solution. The second solution, na, if we are working with helping devotees, Krishna is most happy that time, and we make very fast progress. The motivation for for our action should be to serve devotees. Then it will make a difference. Otherwise, it remains same. And then the proper association. The third solution is proper association. The first is that observation. Notice how advanced practitioner interact with the world and systematically see the good in others. So yesterday we discussed also, I'll come to that slide again. What are the symptoms? So external symptoms can be imitated. I gave the example that we have to see sadhu with the qualities that they have internal, not external. So, but how they are manifested, that also we discussed the stages. I'll come to that slide now. So, imitation and transformation. I'll just share that slide. Mm. So, this is the test for the diagnosis. That how we know he is a proper devotee. So, this is the statement. आशा बंधम समुत्कंठा मान शून्यता विरक्ति प्रीति तद्वशस्थले नामगान सदा रुचि अव्यक्त कालत्व shanti. So these are the symptoms we have to see, not the external symptoms of tears and hair standing on end and no some other feeling, some other feeling. So many people can show. So I was giving the example here. We have paid people for crying. If somebody dies in the house, you can pay to somebody, they'll come and cry for you to create the mood, create the separation. So that means without any relationship, they are able to cry for the other person. You see what a extent. That is the reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Channa Avatara. Because that type of symptoms anybody can exhibit and become God. So he has to keep it as hidden incarnation so that people don't imitate such things. And here we are seeing these are the symptoms on which we have to decide a devotee. So from how we go to sadhu to Krishna centered. So from mechanical approach to conductive approach. So I will come back to this previous slide again. So here we are seeing we have to notice how advanced the practitioner internal intact with the world and systematically see the good in them. So imitation, actively practice seeing and behaving in that exact same way, overriding the ego's default reaction. So ego will say, why I should follow him? Like now I'm telling, this is from Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj. So we should be willing to do what others are doing. I should not think why I should repeat Maharaj's lecture. I will create my own thing. No need to create. You can repeat and be happy. So we should not, we should override the ego's default reactions. Why you should go with others? That is what is bhakti. You just have to repeat. So then active genuine remorse, which is impossible for manufacturing without their direct association. So careful internal association. A careful examination of all 10 offenses reveals that proper association with sadhu is the common overriding solution for almost all of them. And so we have seen the four solutions. First solution is humility. Second solution is from egocentric to sadhu-centric. Third is association of devotees with proper mindset. And this is the fourth solution. Repentance must become the permanent state of heart. This is the fourth solution to avoid 10 offense. When we do all the four, then only we can expect that we will be able to overcome the 10 offenses. Otherwise, not possible only. So, what is the fourth one? First is become highly conscious of the action. Second is recognize offenses immediately after they are committed. Third is feel deep searing remorse. And the fourth one is the heart is the purified, allowing for a higher sensitivity to subtle offenses. So eventually we see that we are almost always offensive. Although Krishna is present in everyone's heart, only a deeply repentant person can actually feel his presence. When the internal environment is perfectly cultivated, the holy name descends. The ultimate remedy for 10 offenses is not mechanical force, but the cultivation of a humble sadhu centric heart. When the weeds of the ego are pulled and the soil is softened by remorse, the holy name is satisfied. To settle into the heart permanently in the stage of Kirtaniya Sadahari, flawless constant chanting is finally achieved. And we have one more presentation is here. Mapping the mechanics of heart and subconscious trap of false ego. So this is the mechanisms of spiritual reprogramming. Offense as a subconscious survival mechanism, the universal antidote of santapa and the divine flow of love, aparat, recentering the gravity of the self. So offense, one satam, ninda, and other things, material conception. So in detail, other things, other offenses are discussed. That will be our next session. So any questions, comments? Anything in chat box, we'll see first. Okay, yesterday, Gail Mataji, your hand is raising. This is from previous. You have question? Gail Mataji, you have some question?
Hi, Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Um,
Krishna.
yeah, I just want to confirm that when you talked about contracted consciousness versus expanded consciousness, the co- the contraction and expansion that we're talking about are the, can we say, the qualities of Krishna being, withdrawn, contracted meaning withdrawn, and his qualities being, you know, emanated from himself to us. I don't know. Am I on the right track or what?
Krishna want to give mercy, but he is saying that we have negativity that says holding on to it. He is not giving.
So
That
that's
is the thing.
contracted. That's
Yeah.
contracted.
No, no, no. Contraction of our consciousness, but we are using the same analogy to tell that even Krishna is also like a tortoise example. Krishna is also holding back. Seeing we are contract, Krishna is holding back like that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Our holding back means, we're exhibiting all of these negative attitude that's as a result of our identification with the body.
Yeah, yeah.
But when we identify with the soul instead, then the positive qualities come out.
At
Our
least we have proper sambandha jnana, na? Then what happens is don't we see things as material. We see difference between material and spiritual. That is where we should work upon. Because of a false ego, we want to enjoy this. So we start looking spiritual things as also material only. We want that also to come for our enjoyment. Or at least it should satisfy my ego. If it co- if it is obstructing my ego, immediately I rebel. I start finding fault or other things. I attack.
but also, a person with materialistic consciousness, yes, they might confuse spiritual with material, but the real truth, though, is that since everything is coming from Krishna and everything is, in that sense, spiritual.
Some things are directly connected to Krishna. One is energy of Krishna and directly dealing with Krishna. There is a difference, na? One is you are with Krishna, directly dealing with Krishna. Deities and a stone. Stone is also energy of Krishna, but deity is Krishna. So there is a difference between stone and deity, na? What is the difference? If you don't see difference, that is materialism. You say, "Arey, any stone is stone only. Why you are worshipping this? Why you are putting steps? One stone is made to construct steps. One stone is for the deity. No, it is no more stone. It is a deity means it is directly Krishna. So there is a difference. You're understanding?
Yeah, yeah, as you said, although everything is coming from Krishna, stone and deity, but one is Krishna directly,
Yeah,
and the other is his energy.
yeah. So when you are dealing with devotees, even if they are doing apparently the same mistake as materialistic people, you cannot deal with devotees like how you are dealing with materialistic people. It won't work there.
Yeah,
You have to be
because of
careful.
Krishna's feelings towards
Yeah,
his
direct,
devotee.
because they are taken shelter of Krishna. So that's what Yamaraj is telling to Yamaduta. Arey, don't touch devotees. They don't come under your jurisdiction.
And even though the jivas are also a kind of category, they're a different category of energy. They're not material, they're not, Krishna's Swarup, Shakti, but it's because of how dear they are,
Yeah, it makes a
they
difference.
that makes a difference.
Yeah,
Because once again, just like stone is energy, jivas are also another energy of Krishna. They're not Krishna directly, but
yeah,
it's his attitude
yeah,
towards
yeah,
his tadiya. Let's say.
yeah, yeah.
Mm, okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Yeshu
Harishna Prabhuji, again it's a revision and a new thing also. Prabhuji, you also said we cannot force the Nama Prabhu to holy name to come inside us, inside our consciousness. He has to come on his own, Prabhuji. Um, so I want to understand here. Uh, we are now I am doing aparat chanting only now, Prabhuji, at this stage. So again, we are chanting more and more. Only the solution also we hear from devotees, Prabhuji, and we have to take many steps. So can you elaborate on this point, Prabhuji?
More and more chanting will help in the
Hmm.
sense that we will become more and more conscious. We have to become more and more consciously chanting. It is
Hmm.
not that we are just chanting. That means you are giving value to it. Say
Hmm.
now I want to develop a relation with you, but somehow I am not able to work. So
Hmm.
what I have to do? I have to make more efforts. So
Hmm.
chanting
Hmm.
more is like you are giving priority to it. You are making
Hmm.
an effort to it. So the holy name will think, okay, this person is really serious. I told
Hmm.
na one of the main thing. As long as we
Hmm.
don't give holy name as a priority, it won't respond.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
holy
Hmm.
name should feel that
Hmm.
he is number one in our life.
Hmm.
The number one personality is holy name. Then holy name will respond. To show that you are number one, we chant again and again and again. Then the holy
Hmm.
name says, yes, yes, this person really means. That is the
Hmm.
reason we have to chant in the morning, early morning, first priority. We have to
Hmm.
chant more times, every Ekadasi chanting extra. So we are prioritizing and we are showing the holy
But
name
this
also.
mechanical chanting also will not work like that. Also, you said, Prabhuji. Sometimes
Mechanical
the
chanting
extra
won't
rounds and
work.
all become so mechanical.
At least we are in touch with Krishna.
Hmm.
So it is somewhere when you chanted 64 rounds, at
Hmm.
least some rounds there was some consciousness. We are in touch
Hmm.
with Krishna. We did not do sense gratification.
Hmm.
Some effect will be there, not so much, but there is
Hmm.
some effect because there is an attempt to go. But it will, if you want really full benefit, then we have to overcome that mechanical chanting. We have to,
Conscious. What you're telling is
yeah,
every action of us should be conscious. That's what I understood today, Prabhuji. Because our
yeah.
whole root is false ego. So anything on material platform, I tend to offend only because of my bodily platform, Prabhuji. So that consciously I should avoid that false ego and I should be careful. That's what I understood today's session, Prabhuji. Is this right?
Because we want to utilize everything for our ego. We want to satisfy our ego.
Hmm. You're
So
right, Prabhuji.
everything should be meant for me and my own satisfaction. And then I don't care whether it is good, bad, or anything. That is an offense then.
Mm. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Premalatika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
No, no.
Prabhuji, it's my observation, I may be wrong, that in devotee community, we see anarthas of others very clearly, but we fail to see anarthas of ourselves. Um, uh, that is my observation. Because sometimes we go and seek help from our seniors to or discuss some things when we are struggling in our spiritual life, that this is thing happening, and instead of sometimes pacifying you, oh, you have this anartha because of this is happening, you are aligning your mind. I mean, how to see these things, we are going to seek some help, uh, so that we should get pacified, rather than that that person is talking more about the anarthas and all that. This is, I feel this is not good, because everyone has anarthas and everyone is struggling with anarthas. Rather than giving solution, they go to evaluate that person. So I want to, you please highlight me upon this, Prabhuji.
We should not go to such people. If they don't are not able to accept us how we are and not able to help, better not take their help.
Mhm.
We should go to somebody who is a little more mature, who can understand our problem and try to help us.
Okay.
That is the point. Not everybody can help. Only somebody who can, uh, who is a little more mature can help. They will understand our problem and they can empathize. See, we
Mhm.
don't want to be judged. Nobody want to be judged. They want to be understood. Then only things will work. We want people to understand us. We don't want people to judge us. And
Mhm.
that will help us to come out of the problems which we are facing. It's like that.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. And another thing is that we, our innate inborn material nature, like some are of a Kshatriya type or having Kshatriya qualities, and some are having Brahminical qualities. So, although a person is having Kshatriya qualities, innate nature of a Kshatriya behavior, and if he or she is struggling to come on the platform of Brahman, how should that person, I'm talking about myself because I have some Kshatriya qualities, a lot of Kshatriya qualities, and I'm
Don't
struggling.
try to become Kshatriya. We should not change our quality. We have to bring it to Krishna's service. If you have
Okay.
Kshatriya quality you want to manage, you manage for Krishna, na? Why you want to change the quality to Brahmana? It is not, no, we should not change our quality. Krishna is not telling Arjuna to become a Brahmana. Arjuna want to become Brahmana. Krishna says, no. You, whatever talent you have, you engage in your service. So if you are a Kshatriya, you are good in managing, you manage. You do nice service to Krishna, you manage Rath Yatra, you manage book distribution, or you manage Janmashtami, or you manage some children preaching. Do some management. What is the problem? No need to change anything. Whatever you are, you give it to Krishna. If you have Shudra type and we want can only do cleaning service, no problem. You can clean and do go back back to God. It Krishna is not telling no, no, you are cleaning job unless you come and give Bhagavatam class like Balram Shakti Bro. You are not qualified. No, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't change yourself. Just change what you are doing and do it for Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Shakti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Then,
Such a wonderful class, Prabhuji. Like, especially you explained about why scientists, so by exploiting matter, they need not to obey. That was very wonderful point, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, while discussing all these how to overcome anarthas, you said associating with the devotees. So we do aparadh associating devotees. How come we can um, overcome offenses, Prabhuji?
If you don't have material attitude, then we'll not. That means if I want them to for my pleasure, then we will definitely do offenses. If I meant to serve them, then we'll not do. Devotees are they are meant for my pleasure. I should get something from them. There is offense. I will have to serve them, then there will not be offense. So this is actually why the offenses are coming.
Okay.
Mm.
Prabhuji, like exactly when we say offense, what does that mean, Prabhuji? Exactly. See, if a devotee is there, she is my friend. Whether that bhakti part if I'm telling something or judging something, that is offensive, or if I'm trying to teach her something, tell something, correct her something, like other knowledge, some material or cooking or something, drawing something. So how to distinguish between this, Prabhuji? Or offense means all offense?
No, if you are teaching, like you are a teacher and you are teaching some instruments and you are teaching to devotees. So if you are not judging them, if you are only correcting, that is not a problem. Only if you are judging, that is a problem. Like say now you correct your children, na, it is an offense? No. Say if a mother is chastising the child and correcting, it is not offense only because she is never having envy or a malice attitude. She only want to help it. So it is not what you are doing. Attitude, what is the internal state? What is the attitude that matters? So when you are dealing with devotees, not that if you don't have envy, you are doing really to help, then there is no offense.
Okay. So,
But problem is like we are envious. That is why the problem comes. Otherwise, there is no problem.
okay.
Yeah.
Why we get envy, Prabhuji?
Because of the bodily conception. Aham mamadi paramo. I am envy because I identify with body. If I and mine are there, then others like I have. This is my house. Then there is neighbor's house. That neighbor is having a beautiful house, he's having big car, he's having big sofa set, he's having big TV, and mine are very, very, very small bed. Then immediately, because I am identifying this is mine and this is there, immediately the tendency come, why I am less? Why I am not why I am not like them? So this is a natural tendency of identifying ourselves with these things which we have.
Okay. It reminds me, Balram Shakti Prabhu was explaining in one of the class, like envy means indirect appreciation.
But we are not appreciating. We are also offending, na? Indirect appreciation is there, but we are offending also. Means we are that is making us give pain to the other person.
Hmm. Okay, Prabhuji, then coming back to that scientist part which you're explaining, then if they wanted to, they need not to obey and they wanted to exploit matter and enjoy or utilize whatever for the. But obviously they know, right, that death will come, right, one day. Then how will it cannot be, they can't enjoy forever, right? Inevitably
They
death
want
will
to
come.
conquer death. They want to conquer death.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They think they can conquer everything and even death also.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. I consciously try to avoid aparadh. Like every time, what it is making me to understand one step. Like I have to be very conscious when dealing with the devotees, and I should have always that mood of serving them. serving them means I will not offend them. And also, when I wanted to teach something, I shouldn't be judgmental, and I wanted to explain or help them the most so that they will learn. Correct, Prabhuji?
Yes, please. So
Okay. Mm.
our thought processes, we want to help one.
Okay. So, helping others, I help myself also.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Divya Prem Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Alhamdulillah.
Prabhu, it is said like in Kali Yuga, if anything we does in mind does not have effect. Sometimes, due to our conditioning, we do offense towards our mentors or superiors. May not it come into action physically or through oral, but it stays in the mind. What will be the effect of those offenses, Prabhu?
Mind you will not have, but if it comes in words, then it will have effect. If you speak that to somebody, then it will have effect.
Or like
Otherwise, it will not have effect.
yeah,
Otherwise,
let's say sharing the opinion to our spouse also comes under inaction, Prabhu.
words it comes, not action, but words are coming. No,
Okay.
if you only share with one person or max two whom you are taking guidance or who is helping you, that's not a problem. If you are
Okay.
telling to 10 people, then definitely it is a problem. Then it is an offense. If you are
Oh,
only telling to one person and no who like a just to get clarification or some solace that okay, I got affected like this, so that's not a problem.
okay. So also, Prabhu, before we come into Krishna conscious, unknowingly we must have done so many offenses. What is the result of those? Like those also get affected to us now. It leads to fall down now.
Not now. If we are sincerely doing it and we are repenting for it, then no problem.
So like it gets burned, Prabhu.
Yes, yes. It will. Krishna is will see that this person want to change, so he will not mind. Okay, says he want to change, then good.
Okay. Prabhu, in your discussion today, you said the root cause of offense is lack of faith, and in some places you said because of the false ego. I
Because of
just
false
wanted.
ego, our lack of faith generates because of what happens is that's what I was giving the example of scientists. Na? Because of ego, we start looking at things in a material way because we want everything for my enjoyment. And then
Mm,
we start looking in a material vision. So spiritual things also we look in a material way. So that is
mm.
the problem.
So
That is a lack
because
of faith.
so because of ego, the faith shakens. You mean to say?
Because of ego, we start not faith is shaken. We look at now. Now is this devotee? He is meant for my enjoyment or Krishna's enjoyment?
Mm.
Krishna's enjoyment, not for me. Na?
Yes.
So, but what happens is because I have a material vision, I want him to, I want him for my enjoyment.
Mm.
So now he's a spiritual person, but I am looking him in a material vision. So this is a lack of faith, and that's why we commit offense with them. We are not seeing them as spiritual. That is problem. You understood the point?
No, Prabhu.
Like say, devotee is spiritual or material?
Spiritual.
If he's spiritual, then he cannot give me any happiness. He should give Krishna happiness.
Yeah.
But if he's material, then I can exploit and I can get pleasure from him.
Mm.
So now this is the lack of faith. So if you have faith that oh no, is spiritual, then it is for not for my enjoyment. But we don't have that faith that he is spiritual. We are taking devotees as material only.
Okay, so and using it for our own sense
Our enjoyment.
gratification.
That is why, because it is my ego is there. No, my ego is always telling you should enjoy, you should enjoy.
Mm. Okay,
You
so
understand?
faith is like distinguishing whether it is materialistic or
Or
spiritual,
spiritual.
and utilizing that spirituality for our sense gratification is egoism.
Because of ego, we want everything for our pleasure. No, Shastra, spiritual material, they are spiritual. If
Mm.
they don't, but I am looking it in a mundane way. Oh, Shastra, there are some stories, some here and there, something. So that is also because of lack of faith. They are meant, no, they are spiritual. Whatever they are tell, you have to follow. Yes, Shastra, we should not disobey the Shastras. No,
Mm.
I don't like. Whatever I like, I will do.
That is lack of faith.
Where it is coming from, the ego only, na?
Mm. Mm.
Because if ego is always everything for my pleasure only. So everything I'll try to make it material only. If you make spiritual means there is somebody else who is handling the case. I cannot handle it. I
Mm. So,
want to, somebody else is the boss, but I want to be boss because I can enjoy. Spirituality means Krishna is the boss. I don't want things to be spiritual only. I
mm.
want things to be material so that I can enjoy.
Okay. Yes,
Clear?
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Srinivas Prasad.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you so very much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful presentation, which I have been yesterday also, you shared today also, and before that also. So I was just thinking that, in fact, this presentation should continuously keep on going in our thoughts, in our mind, because we are so much conditioned that we see this presentation today, and after maybe 2 or 3 days, 4 days, something new comes up, and then whatever things you beautifully shared in this, if this presentation itself remains in our consciousness, I think anybody can perfect his life in devotional. That was, I was just contemplating on this beautiful presentation which you have been sharing. And my question is, Prabhuji,
All
like,
glories to Bhakti Gyan Maharaj.
well, thank you for us. You are the instrument to bring it to us. Otherwise, there are so many things in spiritual like path, but one who is helping us in our devotion life, we should be grateful. From the core of my heart, I would like to express my heartfelt and deepest gratitude to you and Balram Shakti Prabhu for helping us in our struggling sadhana and this devotional path. So my question was, Prabhuji, uh, like the root cause which we have been discussing is the false ego. So coming, forgetting that we are a spirit soul and always being on the bodily platform. Sometimes we may remember for some certain time that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, and then we feel very good. But when it comes to practical thing, when situations go hayway, and then like Prabhupada said that the real test for a devotee is when there are provoking situation, how do we respond in those situations? So I personally feel that most of the times we fail and we are not able to relate that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, and we end up in having those bodily concept, and then we start um, behaving in such a way on the bodily concept only. So how to uh, remain in that consciousness constantly that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul? What are the most important things which can help us to remember that I'm a spirit soul and I'm not this body? So can you please enlighten?
Yeah, we have to be with devotees. Like that is the four solutions are given. One is humility, another is making sadhu as the center of our life, and third is where our ego is. We are working on our ego and trying
Yes,
to imitate the sadhus is also correct thing. So we have to work on imitating what they are doing. So these are like we discussed. One is sadhu sangha
Mm.
and ego centered to Krishna centered, and the
Mm.
fourth one is repentance. So these are the four
Very
things we have to practice: humility, sadhu sangha, ego centered to sadhu center,
Mm.
and the fourth is repentance. So when you do these four, then we can come out of it.
So this we are in fact trying in our.
Same thing you keep trying. That's what Krishna wants. There is no other formula.
Okay.
We have to
Okay.
be patient. We have to work on it and do it again and again. Some Monday it will come.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. The hope is association of devotees like you in our lives who can always keep us helping. Otherwise, if we don't, frankly speaking, if we don't attend japa session together, if we don't uh, read scriptures together, and if we are in our own world, so the material energy is so strong that it can just take us away from spiritual path also in a very short time. The only hope is association of devotees, and we are so grateful to you again and again. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Correct. Vrindavan Gopal.
Hare Krishna, Buddha Pranam. So, Prabhuji, first of all, thank you very much. Almost from like last week's, so we are discussing on these offenses, and we are very elaborately discussing through all your presentations and exactly like what are the root causes and what are the possible solutions to get out from these offenses. You have very nicely elaborated with the help of this presentation. So, Prabhuji, I have just want one clarification related to the one point you have made. So you're telling me like our priority of light should be the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam, and whatever other things are there, family, wife, children, etc. There should be like a kind of a secondary secondary priority of our life. Can I just elaborate on this point a little bit, Prabhuji, ki how we deprioritize holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam with other things?
That is the mindset we have to change, bro. Because our faith should increase. That is the purpose of life. We always tell the first session of discover yourself. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanyamaitat pashuhina rana dharmo hitesha adiko vishesha dharmaina hina pashuhina. The human life is meant for spiritual realization. Human life is meant to understand the dharma. Human life is meant to realize Krishna. So this is what we tell. When we tell, but we don't put it as the priority. We tell, okay, I came to spiritual life. Now I'm chanting, that's why I'm spiritual. I am hearing everyday Bhagavatam, I am spiritual. I am doing certain things. So we we consider ourselves I am doing spirituality because we are doing some activity. But are we really putting it as number one priority? That actually makes the difference. We are looking like spiritual, but the priorities are something else. So that is the main difference. Okay, sir.
And one more clarification, Roji. I think I think 1 or 2 weeks back, I was hearing one lecture of Maharaj, Bhakti Gyan Goswami Maharaj. So Maharaj was telling you all sins are there. They are whenever somebody commits a sins, then it affects the mind on the level of mind. And Maharaj was telling me whenever like we commit any Vaishnava aparadh, it influence the soul level, Prabhuji. And here, like you are telling ki, like that influences on a ego level. How like means
Yeah, that is the
how to
connection
understand?
between soul and body's ego only. That's why Mara is telling that.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks.
Mm. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you all very much. I will share the PPT in the group so we can go through it, and you want to remember it, then you share with others. That is a formula. You should repeat it and you share with other devotees, then it will be easy for you. Hare Krishna. Any questions in chat box? Yeah. After initiation, does the spiritual master take both our manifested and unmanifested karma? And if we were completely lazy or neglect our bhakti, does he allows us to experience some of those reactions to help us become serious again? Is my understanding correct? Also, I have heard in many lectures that simply by coming in contact with Krishna conscious, our karma begins to burn. Does this apply only to devotees who have reached the stage of Nishta Bhakti, or does it apply to sincere devotees in general as well? Okay. So here, na, the point is Guru need not take our, he will not take our. Okay, who asked question? Is there or not? We have to check. But Tilaka Mataji is there in the room. They asked the question. Okay, Mataji is there, so I'll answer. Otherwise, they ask the question and they're not there only in the meeting, then there is no point. So the point is that Guru don't take the karma like in the way it is explained here. If he is not uh, taking responsibility, like say I went to somebody and I asked him to teach, he said he will teach, but if he does not teach, and I am fully surrendered to him and put full faith on him that he's going to help me and he's going to teach me, and if he does not do it, then he will get the reaction. But if he's helping to teach and he's doing his best, and then I am not taking advantage of it, it is not a problem. If he is not teaching, he promised that he will teach. The Guru is promising that I will take care of you. If Guru is not doing, then only the reaction comes for him. Otherwise, like what is told in Rishabh Dev section, Pita nasasya, Pati nasasya, Janani nasasya, Daivam nasasya, Namo Chetit Sampaitam. Only if he is not taking the responsibility which he is meant to do, then he cannot be called, he cannot take that thing. So that is the point. So the reaction is the irresponsibility. Otherwise, he is taking sin in the sense he is trying to help that living entity. So he will not get karma is not there actually. Krishna is directly in control. Where is question of karma? But we tell the devotee that no, be responsible. Otherwise, they will get punishment. And after Diksha, if somebody is doing some mistakes, Guru will not get. Guru is doing his job. The devotee, if he is doing mistake, Krishna will punish the devotee. So, if anything under control of Krishna, you cannot call it karma. If Krishna is if we are directly under Maya or Krishna, we tell that we want to be under Krishna. Krishna says fine with me. Then from now onwards, whatever happens, you should know that Krishna is doing this to me. So then we cannot call it as karma. So the Guru will not have karma. If disciple is not doing wrong, then disciple will be punished. That is the point. And Sinus Puspa, you had some question?
Yes, Prabhuji, related to this only what you explained.
Yeah.
Very beautifully you answered this. But I just had heard somewhere Prabhupada or some Gopal Krishna Maharaj, or I don't know, remember exactly. But I've heard somewhere from Prabhupada only that if a disciple is not sincere, then Guru has to come back again and again till the time his disciple is it for only to make the disciple sincere, or is it true that the spiritual master has to come back to deliver his disciples again and again till the time they don't perfect their lives?
Yeah, that is also there, but it is not that it's a reaction for Guru. He can come in any form. So that is not any problem for Guru. He will come in form of Chintamani for Bailamangal Thakur.
Mm.
He is So Guru is speaking through her. Like Prabhupada said, my Guru is speaking through the postman. Previously, Prabhupada was writing back to God in magazines. So the postman says, why are you writing magazines? Better write books. So he said, my Guru is speaking. The Guru is coming in many forms.
Yes.
So
Yes, very true. Very true. Very true. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
So there is one more question: is kindly guide how to respond when someone else is attacking us. How to respond when we see someone is into meat eating or intoxication. Wait a minute, whether the devotee is there. If somebody is attacking, we have to defend. We have to protect ourselves. That is not wrong. That is right thing to do. Krishna consciousness is practical. It is not sentimental. Practical means whatever is supposed to be done, we should do it. We will not attack us. If somebody is attacking, we have to protect ourselves. Somebody is eating meat, that is their problem. We have to help them, tell them, you'll get reactions for it. That's all.